Welcome back to another video. It's Bradford v Barrow match preview, elimination score prediction and thoughts going into tomorrow's game in the comments down below. Like the video if you do, go on to do so, and subscribe if you're new. All support is massively appreciated. 20 subscribers away from 400. It's a big game. It's the biggest game of the season by far. Win it, then obviously the biggest game goes on to Saturday against Newport. Then both teams are the lowest form sides in the table. I think Barrow have only picked up 1 point in the last 5, and obviously it'd be such a Bantams thing to go and lose today. But, I mean, in fairness, 4 of the last 5 games without that win have come away from home, and they are up there with the best home sides in the league. I think the 7th, but I think back in to turn the new year, I think they were the best home side in the league when they lost to Crewe. So they're a very tough team to play away from home. Way better away from home than we are at home, but we know it's a must-win. Must-wins don't come any more than a must-hit in this one. Anything but a win means playoffs is over, and that's the brutal reality of it, that if we don't win tomorrow, that is que sera. We will not be going to Wembley. So yeah, we won't be going anywhere. It'll be, a dead rubber against Newport on Saturday, which no one wants. So let's hope we can put in a shift. Let's hope the pressure doesn't get to them, and let's hope they can give the fans who are travelling up there a performance that can just show that energy, desire, and that work rate. If we lose, we lose, but we want to see that mentality that we've seen recently and continue that. If we don't, then that's completely unacceptable, and we can't allow that to happen, what we've seen a lot this season. So key players then for them, I think I did it unedited in the game that got called off last time, the second time, so let's hope it doesn't happen the third time. And I sort of went through a lot of the squad. I'll just trim it down to 3 because I don't want this preview to be very similar to last one, because it only happened like a week or 2 ago. So Ben Whitfield, again, he's always that player who stands out, like Cole Stockton, like James Chester for, but Ben Whitfield more of a lower level player who's done well at Barrow when he's been there, creative player, very influential for them, and just stands out on the football pitch when you watch Barrow, because he's, they don't have a lot of technically good players like him. They're more about energy and work rate and grit, and he's definitely got that ability. He hasn't been playing a lot recently though. He's been playing a bit of a pit part, and I won't really expect him to play against City because they don't normally play him against us. They go for more defensively capable players, and I think that's what they've gone for more recently. I don't know how they've been playing recently, but we'll get into that in the what can we expect. Spence as well, Keane Spence, formerly of Halifax, came here with Pete Wild, with a couple of players. He's a very dynamic and energetic player, and I do like him when I've watched him. Technically, I don't think he's the best player on the football pitch, but he's got that dynamism in the midfield, which I like. But I say he ain't good technically. I think he's got 6 goals, 7 assists, or 7 assists, 6 goals. So he's contributing goals for a Barrow team that haven't even got a goal score in the double figures, which shows how poor they've been at getting that sort of strike, even with your Cole Stocktons, who, it would be a player to watch, but again, he hasn't been playing a lot recently. I think his last start was against Swindon, which were 4 games ago, so I can't really put him down. So I'll go in now, kind of. I didn't rate him at City. I think he was captain at the time under Derek Adams, and then he sold him to Barrow as his captain, sort of threw him under a bus towards his end, and I think that signalled the end for Adams, to be honest with you. Always lacked pace, and reminds me a lot of Ash Taylor at the minute, but because he was from Bradford, and he got that bit of leeway with the fans, and he's doing well at a Barrow team because they're playing a low block and it suits their system, and I think Ash Taylor will probably do well for a Barrow, so hopefully that they can maybe look at bringing him in this summer, because I think he'd do well there in that sort of a system. But he's a big part to their solid defence, and in the main he's a solid League 2 centre back. The results then: a 4-2 defeat to Doncaster on Saturday for Barrow. They were 2-0 up in that game and end up losing 4-0, which hopefully is a sign for more things to come. A 1-1 draw to Crawley previous to that as well, so the last 3 games are against the 3 teams competing for that 7th place spot. 3-0 before that to Gillingham, and we know how poor Gillingham were. 2-0 to Swindon, who have been shocking this season and more recently as well, and a 2-1 defeat to Morecambe as well, a team that have been on the down more recently than they have been through the course of the season. And so yeah, the opposition played against previous to Donny and Crawley haven't been great. the way they've lost the games as well has been probably a big worry for Barrow, considering it hasn't happened all too often this season. Our last 5 a 3-2 win against Walsall, coming back from 2-0 down, 2-1 win against Salford, a 1-0 win against Gillingham, 1-1 draw against Grimsby, and a 2-0 win against Tranmere. It's great to see us in our last 5 coming unbeaten and getting rid of that 4-game spell where we got trounced, I think 13 goals conceded them, which probably will end up costing us this season. Pete Wild then is a great manager. It's funny how they've fallen off, really. Not funny as in laughing, it's just weird. Because I didn't see it happening. They start the season strong, and I could see it in some ways. I thought they'd be challenging for playoffs. I didn't think, like a lot of pundits did have them in the top 3. I didn't think they'd get up there, and it surprised me how they were consistent with that. Like I say, turn of the new year, they haven't been quite the same side, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's complacency, I don't know if it's on Pete Wild, I don't know if it's on the players, but it surprised me more so, because in January they went and brought in Nicole Stocktons, and I thought, the mean business, they're going through it, and they've fallen off since he's come in, and probably had a bit of a Charlie Austin type of an impact that Swindon did a couple of seasons ago as well. But yeah, he's a great manager, is Pete Wild. If they do bottle top 7, it's a big failure with the squad they've got, but overall he's achieving good things with Barrow since he's took over there. A team that came up under Ian Evatt and have just been expected to stay up. Now they're fighting to get out of League One, into League One, which is a big achievement, like I say, for Barrow. What can we expect? Like I said, I don't really know what to expect. I haven't watched many of the games recently, Barrow, and how they've set up, because, have they been going for it more so? There's been some high scoring games in there, or have they been, trying to sit back and just get over the line, and it's failed, because, we've seen last season in games tried to get over the line, and that ultimately cost us getting wins. It turned us into draws under Mark Hughes. And obviously now we're sort of going for games a lot more with a more attack-minded style of play with Alexander, and it's getting the goals and the wins as well. But typically V-City, it's 11 men behind the ball, it's a low block, it's quite tough to watch. It's normally us passing it around the back line and trying to break them down. Even in Alexander's first game, I think we had around 70% possession, and we all know that ain't really Alexander's type of football. So I'd expect that again, but like I say, I don't know how they're going to set up. They need points, and they need goals, and like I said, they don't really get goals, Barrow, so they might go for it a bit more, which might leave us a bit more space, which we hope for, and they are at home, so I'd hope that's what they go with. But like I say, typically when they've got the ball, they're the same for the target man trying to counter us, and they've been quite successful with it in recent times as well. Can't remember the exact stats, but I think we lost 3-2 to them away at beginning of last season. Lost to him 1-0 in the February last season as well, and we lost to him in Alexander's first game this season. So we haven't had a good run against Barrow, so hopefully that can change, because we desperately need it too. So, and just on the early goals thing as well, what do you think it suits us? Because I think we need that early goal, or they do, because we saw against Walsall, we reacted, we came back fighting. We've done that more recently, but I just think as long as that game stays 0-0, normally, especially February time, I'm saying as long as it stays 0-0, it suits us more. You fancy that we might be able to scrape a goal from somewhere, but clean sheets are so important at this stage. We just need wins. So I think an early goal, no matter who it's for, ideally us, but I think that then we get a reaction. There's enough time to change it. But talking of changing it into my team, let me know your team in the comments down below as well. Would you change the team from Saturday, apart from Jamie Walker? Because there's areas in there that I think some players haven't been playing well. A few poor performances on Saturday, even though we won 3-2. So let me know your thoughts on that. Walker in goal, I think that's a fairly obvious one. John Tompkinson comes back into the back line. Yeah, Oyegoki didn't have a great game. I'd normally give him the benefit of the doubt, but also with the opposition being against Barrow, they're a big physical side, and John Tompkinson's really good in the air for his pace as well. So I think his quality, he's got to come back in after Oyegoki not having a great game, and like I say, aerially he'll massively improve us. Matty Platt keeps his place in the back line as well. Kieran Kelly came off with cramp, he should be fine. The wing backs, Halliday keeps his place in right wing back. Didn't have a great first half against Walsall, but second half he showed his character. And then left wing back, I would bring Richards back in. I thought Tariq Wright had a really poor game. We need players, that they have attacking threat, especially down the flanks. They like to get crosses into the box. Richards a bit more solid defensively, away from home, and he looks more up for it than Tariq Wright more recently as well. And I don't think it's too bad going forward. Midfield, Smallwood, unbelievable second half against Walsall. He needs to put that in 90 minutes for these next 2 games and show that leadership that we saw against Walsall to get us over the line. But different midfield partnerships. Obviously, Walker can't play with his suspension. He will be back for Newport, though. I would take Bobby Poynton out of it as well. I think he's a better player at home, but I think he's also a better player in second half of games. It opens up a bit more. He gets more space, more pockets, and even second half against Walsall, it opened up for him. But then he got tired, so I'd leave him and bring him on, and I'd start Gilead in that midfield with him. That energy is going to be important to replace Walker with, and playing more advanced like the Walker one. Don't have him in a midfield 2 of Smallwood and Gilead. Keep him in that advanced role, but he has that more defensive know-how as well. And then Clark O'Dra, been impressed with him off the bench as well as when he started in the last couple of months as well. And I think he's offered just a bit more than Bobby Poynton coming off the bench, and I think just a little tweak in there as well for us. And then Cook and Kavanagh up front. Hopefully Kavanagh can improve on his performance against Walsall. I thought he was just alright, but we need his energy to press their back line. And Andy Cook, we need him to come up with some big moments, and against his former club I have no doubt that he will come up with a big moment and potentially score. Lemonade score predictions as well, and your goal scorers in the comments down below. I'm going to go, I've said draw every one of the last few games, so I'm going draw again. Do I go over 2-2? I'm going to go over one. I'm going to go over Desmond 2-2. I keep going with a Desmond 2-2, and it keeps prevailing for a win as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Your score predictions, your team lineups. Do you think we will get the win tomorrow to give us a chance in the final day to get in the playoffs? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. It's a must-win game. We need the players to turn up. Get down there if you're going to Barrow. Make yourselves heard, and let's try and get behind the lads for a massive, massive game against Barrow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like the video if you did, go on to do so. Subscribe if you're new. Have a good one.